Ubisoft is allergic to good ideas. Why is that the case? Why is it? Of course, we all know what we're talking about. New news about this cancelled Assassin's Creed game that was supposedly in the works, but was scrapped due to political... Let me actually show you exactly what the post I saw. Ubisoft cancelled an Assassin's Creed game set in the post-Civil War era, featuring a black assassin who was formerly a slave. Players would fight the emerging KKK. Does this not sound like an amazing idea? But hey, you forgot. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. And this is also why, I've kind of just checked out of Assassin's Creed completely and just Ubisoft games in general. There are very few Ubisoft games that I tolerate nowadays. I completely skipped on Shadows. And actually, main reason for them canceling this because of Shadows, because there was so much backlash with Yasuke that Yasuke came out and people are like losing their shit. Oh my god, why the fuck is he in the game? Me personally, I wasn't too bothered by it, but it's probably because I'm not Japanese, it's not my culture, so I really don't care. I thought it would have been interesting, but this is Ubisoft, so I don't think the main thing I wanted in Shadows was for people to be racist towards Yasuke, or if not racist, at least a little standoffish. You never seen a guy like this in your entire life. He's huge, he's black as the night, right? He's got different facial features, he looks different than you. So of course you, as a person who's been sheltered in this country, you've never seen a person like this, so you should be standoffish. You shouldn't be listening to every word he says and be taking him and just be treating it like it's an everyday thing. No, this is a 6 foot tall black man. He is rare around these parts, you know what I'm saying? And he also was an ex-slave. Obviously, this is during what time was Shadows? During the Edo period? I don't remember. But obviously, slavery still existed back in the day, and he was an emancipated slave, as far as I know. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole was Yasuke real or not. That's a completely different video. I actually made a video already, so you can check that out. A whole playlist of Assassin's Creed Shadow talk. But I completely skipped on Assassin's Creed Shadows because it just wasn't for me. Because Ubisoft, they failed to commit, and this is another reason, right? They saw all the backlash behind Yasuke and said, okay, you know what? We ain't doing it at all. And that's such a Ubisoft thing to do. You want to know why? Because you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of back when Unity and Syndicate were coming out. Unity came out. We all know how that ended up. Disastrous launch. I still think it's a really good game. I still think Unity is the best modern traditional Assassin's Creed game. The gameplay is top notch when it works. You know, although they've ironed out all the bugs, so it actually works quite well now. Me personally, I haven't experienced any bugs when I play Unity. But when they're making Syndicate, they were like, oh, hold up, okay, so we have to do the opposite of whatever Unity did. So they took out all the good shit from Unity out of Syndicate. That's why Syndicate was so much more worse than Unity, because they took out all the good parts of Unity. They saw all the backlash with Unity. They're like, you know what? I guess that means the entirety of Unity is bad. No! Unity was bad day one because it was unplayable. You see the clips. We all know the iconic eyeballs and teeth, right? I mean, that's cemented in video game history forever, right? So Unity wasn't a bad game. The gameplay, like I said, is still one of the best in the entire franchise. But they took it as, okay, so people hated on Unity, let's just change the entire thing for Syndicate, which is why Syndicate was so bad. But they can't understand, they can't think that, okay, some things are good, let's keep those, and some things are bad, let's get rid of those. Bad as if don't ship a game if it ain't ready. So that's why Syndicate was so much worse, because they took out all the good out of Unity, and so they made the shit that was Syndicate, you know? Same thing over here. They saw the backlash with Yasuke, and they're like, you know what? I guess that means we can't make a black character ever. What does that mean, Ubisoft? You're never gonna make a black character? The context matters, you dumb son of a bitch. Oh my, I can't stand the people from Ubisoft, man. I swear to God. What are they on? Whatever they're on, I need it. I need to get off this plane of existence. All right, give it to me so I can go dream walk for a little bit, essentially, because they're on some good shit. How are these people employed? I don't get it. I don't get how people this dumb are employed still at a big place like Ubisoft. You know, context, you idiot. Context. People didn't like that because the Japanese, the reason why Yasuke was so problematic was because the Japanese value their culture a lot, and they don't like when people come and start changing it around. Was Yasuke this? Was Yasuke that? Doesn't matter. But case in point, they weren't too happy with it. Okay, they didn't like it, and what you should have done is just scrapped it. If they don't like it, then don't fucking make it. Me personally, like I said, I have no issue with it. You can watch the videos I made explaining the whole situation, but case in point, people didn't like it, but that's because he was set in Japan. It was in Japan, and instead of giving them a Japanese character, you gave them a black character, and that made them mad, okay? But if you make a black character in America, who was an emancipated slave, post-Civil War, that makes fucking sense. Just exactly how we played a Native American, pure-blooded Native American in Assassin's Creed 3. Because this makes sense, because he's 100% American. An emancipated black slave in America would make sense during that time. It's not going to be divisive like Assassin's Creed Shadows, because this is American culture, not Japanese. And of course, you can't talk about this whole situation without talking about Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Namely, this is Edward, but namely Adewale during the Freedom Cry DLC. Adewale was in the game, okay? He was an emancipated slave. Obviously, any black character in any historical game is an emancipated slave. because slavery has been here for like forever, for the longest time. We only recently got rid of it like 300 years ago, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Otto Wally was a major character in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and he eventually got his own standalone game. It's more like a DLC, you can get it done in a couple hours. He got his own game, like I said. They sell it as a full game, but it's still technically kind of a DLC of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, but it's a game nonetheless. You get to play as an emancipated slave, and in the game, in Far Cry, in the Freedom Cry DLC, you actually get to free slaves. That's literally a side activity that you can do in the game. So what the hell, Ubisoft? What do you think? Why do you think this is going to be divisive? Uh-oh. Let me answer your question for you. Because this came out in 2014, more than 10 years ago. Okay? And you forget that Ubisoft is a Western company. Ubisoft ain't a Chinese company. It's not a Japanese company. Alright? It's not an Asian company. It's a North American company. It is situated in Canada. And as we all know, me also living in Canada, Canada's gay as hell. They love making problems where problems don't exist, okay? Like they're crying over the fact that the subject material of slavery is going to be too divisive in today's day and age, especially in America's political situation today. Bro, you should be doing the opposite. Because of America's political situation, we should have a story of where an emancipated slave gets to exact his revenge against the people who enslaved him and take down the emerging KKK. What's better than that? Red Dead Redemption 2 had the KKK. And that was recent. That was in like 2018. It's not that long ago. Like this, you can say, okay, more than 10 years ago. That wasn't even 10 years ago. That was new. But once again, that was Rockstar. And they got balls for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But that's classic Ubisoft, always playing it safe. Always making the same recycled game over and over and over again. Expecting shit to change. That's insanity. I'm quoting your own shit against you, motherfucker. Okay, that's Ubisoft. Actually put this information in the good old GPT. Let's see what it says, okay? So I said, the project was reportedly set during the Reconstruction era just after the U.S. Civil War, 1860s, 1870s. The protagonist would have been a formerly enslaved black man from the South. He moves west to try to start a new life and then gets recruited by the Assassin Brotherhood. Part of the narrative would have involved him returning to the South to confront the emergence of the KKK, among other racial and political tensions of post-Civil War America. The game was an early concept under the working code name Project Scarlet in some reports. It was reportedly cancelled around July 2024 by Ubisoft leadership based in Paris because of concerns about how politically controversial a game set in the setting would be, especially given the polarized political climate. Oh my goodness! The pussy strike again. This is what happens when we got pussies working on a game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's politically controversial. Oh my goodness, yo. It's literally Django. Hold on. It's literally Django Unchained, the game. We could have got a kind of a Django game. But because these pussies fucking working at Ubisoft, we're not going to get it because it's politically controversial. Oh my god, man. I'm so sick of this PC culture. You want to know why? You want to know why these games are so much better than whatever Ubisoft is putting up nowadays? I'll tell you why. Because back in the day, you had straight men working on them. The people working at Ubisoft now are blue-haired women. And they give a shit more about their feelings than what's a fact. Like, this is history. This happened. Why try to run away from it? It's your history. It's American history. Right? You should be proud of it. And especially in a story like this, it's a triumphant story about a black man who is freed and then goes back south to take down the KKK members. What is not good about this? It's a triumphant story. Who doesn't want to kill KKK members? I want to kill KKK members. You don't? What's wrong with you? Huh? You don't want to kill KKK members? Why not? You can make a ton of games like Wolfenstein about killing Nazis. You can't make a game about killing the KKK. What's the difference? They all should die, don't you think? Man, I bet Ubisoft is basically pulling their hair right now. Like this leak came out right now and everyone just shitting on them because the game is apparently still in concept phase. Details may have been tentative and subject to change. Some elements might have been preliminary ideas rather than finished design. So basically some absolute Chad said, yo, we should make a game set during the post-Civil War era where you play as a freed slave who goes and kills KKK members. Absolutely fucking amazing idea. But then some fat, blue-haired, whatever the fuck, said, actually, that might be controversial. I don't think, that kind of hurts my feelings. I'm so sick of this shit, man. Oh my god, bro. This is why I don't fuck with Ubisoft no more. Or basically, a majority of Western companies, because they completely just lost the plot. Here we had an amazing idea, right? And they said, nah, why? Because they're pussies. There's really no other way to put it, right? If you weren't such a pussy, if you could tell a strong story, then you could have. I mean, Django Unchained is a movie, right? But oh no, please don't say it, bro. Not talking about it doesn't make it go away. And this should happen. It's your history. You should be fucking displaying it, you know? Well, case in point, I hate Ubisoft. You hate Ubisoft. We all hate Ubisoft. And this is the reason why. Because they do some fuck shit like this. They get a good idea. They are allergic, literally allergic to good ideas. They see a good idea. Oh wow, this is quite nice. Fuck it. I don't want it. Because I chew. I'm allergic. Because I'm a bitch. Because you're on some pussy shit, man. God damn, I'm so sick. That would have been awesome, would it not? Just thinking about it, right? But even before the seed could grow, they just squashed it down. Fuck that. We're gonna make something gay next. And honestly, it's kind of sad because like there was a time when Ubisoft was like on top of their game, man. Like you remember Splinter Cell, Rayman, Prince of Persia. These are old ass franchises that are Ubisoft, and they're absolute classics. And not just classics, but they pushed the genre. They revolutionized the game. Prince of Persia, amazing for the time, especially for the time, man. Like we didn't have a traversal system like that at the time. And then of course Prince of Persia turned into Assassin's Creed. Chaos Theory, one of the best stealth games, period. You know what I'm saying? And these are all Ubisoft games. So you really gotta wonder, how the fuck did it change, man? I'm telling you, one of the reasons why Ubisoft is shit nowadays is because they got rid of people who are actually passionate about the shit, and they brought in people who aren't competent at their jobs, and they're hiring based off of your orientation, your skin color, not based off of your merit. That's why. And they're doing this across the entire board. Many Western game developers are the same situations going on with them, right? So if you ever wonder, hey, why the hell is my beloved gaming franchise that I once loved before, Assassin's Creed, I used to love it, but now it's just pretty much shit, to the point where I don't even bother playing the new games anymore. I don't care, right? Either give me an Assassin's Creed game, a real Assassin's Creed game, or fucking don't, okay? So if you're ever wondering what the hell happened to your favorite gaming franchise, you know who to blame. Case in point, fuck Ubisoft, y'all are hoes.